Donald Trump actually did make good on his promise to show up at a McDonald's in Pennsylvania and work not a shift. I mean, it wasn't a full actual McDonald's shift, but he worked for a few minutes, filling containers with fries and then handing people their food out the drive-through window. But the media loved it. I mean, the corporate-controlled media, the Washington Post, the New York Times, everybody running headlines yesterday talking about how cool it was that Donald Trump showed up and did this, surprising everybody. And what they didn't report at the time, and I don't even know if they're going to end up reporting it ever, was that the entire thing was staged. The McDonald's was not open. There was a big sign on the door letting everybody know that, hey, McDonald's is obviously not a political organization and we don't get involved in politics, but this was a big opportunity, so they decided to do it. And of course, they closed the store in order for Donald Trump to come in and play make-believe. So it wasn't open. None of those people that came through the drive-through line at that time when Donald Trump was serving them their food and they were talking about how awesome he was and how much they loved him, it was all staged. All of those people that came through that line were handpicked, pre-selected, and to make it even funnier, they actually had to rehearse. So you didn't just, get picked, get in line, make your order, and move on. No. They actually had them go through the drive-through line and practice several times before Donald Trump got there. Everything about this little stunt was completely fake. None of it was real. Oh, they were real Trump supporters, and oh yeah, Trump really had an apron. But other than that, the whole thing was completely fabricated, again, so that Donald Trump could go and play make-believe, right? We wanted the 78-year-old convicted felon to be able to play pretend for a little bit, so everybody has to play along. We closed the restaurant down, so actual workers lost their real shifts. So the workers lost money off this. The restaurant lost revenue off of this, totally not a political thing, blah, 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 blah. But you're willing to lose money so that Donald Trump can come in and make believe that he works at a McDonald's. My little 2-year-old niece can do the same thing with her little pretend cash register. But, we're not shutting down stores for her to go in and play pretend for a few minutes. But that is exactly what happened. And again, most of the media outlets out there did not report that this whole thing, from the people in the line to the orders coming in, every bit of it was staged. Now, a lot of people on social media, trying to act like, oh, well, of course, everybody knew it was staged. We all know this because we're all the super smart people. So, duh, you're an idiot if you didn't know it was staged, right? The worst kinds of people, by the way. Those are the most annoying human beings on the planet. The ones who always have to be right. I knew everything. God, it drives me insane. But it makes sense, right? I mean, Donald Trump has had, 2 unsuccessful attempts on his life. So yeah, it is a little bit dangerous to stick him back there in a live restaurant where anybody could walk in off the streets, except that you have Secret Service protection. You have local police protection. So it wasn't necessary to actually shut the restaurant down. I'm not buying that excuse. This is all because Donald Trump still insists that Vice President Harris did not work at a McDonald's. He has no evidence to back those claims up, but he and his little moron children have been making those claims in the media for months. Most recently, I think it was either Eric or Don Jr. said it on Fox, that she never worked there, and they have no evidence that she lied about working there. That's the funniest thing. They made up the lie that she never worked there. It bothered them so much, this lie that they created, that Daddy had to go and make pretend for a few minutes. And of course, cost people money, cost them their time, cost the local police time. The whole thing is insane. That this even happened And that the media covered it in the way that they did is beyond insane. There were photographs going around social media yesterday showing the time when President Biden jumped behind the grill. I think it was at a fair or some kind of outdoor event. He jumped behind the grill and he started helping to cook. And it wasn't staged, right? They didn't know he was going to do that, the people in the crowd. There were real people out there. They didn't have to have all kinds of security and shut everything down because, oh, President Biden can't be bothered with actual human beings. But for Trump, they do. Because God forbid somebody come through that drive-thru that's not a huge fan of Donald Trump, right? I know if I were in a drive-thru and Donald Trump handed me my food, there's going to be some words exchanged, right? But that's what this man is. Everything has to be controlled. Everything has to be exactly the way he wants it. Restaurants have to suffer. The city has to suffer. Also, he can play make-believe because he is, in fact, a giant 78-year-old toddler. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.